We're talking 25 gigabits per second.
There's a very specific reason for this fiber cable, and we can actually follow it out of the room, way out of the room. Still going, still going, still going.
And you follow that cable all the way around, and you end up with this, which is basically just one massive server.
And that serves as the third layer of backup. It almost seems stupid just how many precautions are being taken. But then when you start to add up how much they're spending to make the show, it starts to make sense how much they're spending to keep the show.
This room is actually particularly cool for a few more reasons, because these are video recording boxes. So you know how it normally works with a camera? You record onto an SD card that's inserted inside. But these guys are doing it a little bit differently, because every single one of the fixed cameras dotted around the stadium is physically wired all the way across the stadium into these boxes. And that has two pretty major benefits. One, that instead of recording on tiny fiddly little SD cards, they can record onto proper drives. But also two, some of these cameras are, no joke, 100 meters up in the air. So imagine how much manpower it would require to individually keep track of every single camera so that it doesn't run out of storage, and then swap over the SD cards when it does. But with this setup, one person could literally man everything. This is also super interesting. So because this recording actually happens over a really long time, like I think we hit record at 10 p.m., it's now 3:12 in the morning, the lighting changes. So this guy over here is actually in real time adjusting the color temperature, the black levels, the saturation of the cameras to make sure that they stay consistent.
Both as the time of day changes, but also between the many different types of cameras being used on the shoot. Because if you just left each one alone, they would all naturally take footage that looks slightly different to each other.
This is the video router. So it's the box in which every single one of the video signals that you see comes through first to be able to be distributed to all these separate monitors. So long story short, if this box goes down, so does the entire video, which is why there's a 24/7 fan just blowing cool air at it.
So do you remember the pan-tilt zoom cameras that we talked about earlier? Well, this room is also where those are being remotely operated from.
And the beauty of these cameras is they allow you to follow the action. So let's say I find a disruption happening with these briefcases. I can find where that disruption is happening, and then I can just zoom in all the way onto that disruption. So it's allowing me from a distance to create these really stable cinematic sub-stories within the bigger story. That gets so close.